Hey, I'm Aldyn, and I just thought, I'd share some of my story and experience, like claiming my power back. And it feels like this week for me has been a really big week. And, then of course there was the eclipse full moon, which I always feel like, oh, no wonder, right? But it all lines up anyway. And what I moved through is really calling out something from my childhood that I did not choose. And I wrote a letter to a certain someone, and in the future, I'm not sure like how personal I want to get about this. It's kind of like covering new territory for me to talk about it. But I really realized that was my step, and that there was something there more than money, more than what I would like get out of it, to bring some kind of resolve and to say, hey, this is what happened. You're acting like it never happened, and like we can't continue. Like there will be no relationship. And I kind of thought there wasn't a relationship. I kind of always like knew that, but things happened recently to go deeper with that, because on the other hand, what my experience has been is that I was actually holding on to this like energy in a really icky way that I didn't realize, because I just wasn't able to fully face it down. Like I didn't even know. I was in a lot of denial about what had happened to me, and for years, right? And like it's like I would take steps and kind of deal with it, but I just I felt kind of gaslighted, right? Like, and so I finally like just reached that boiling point, and it wasn't from an angry place, but it was just like, this is clearly like what needs to happen on my spiritual journey to go deeper here, because I'm being misunderstood. Like I'm attracting being very like misunderstood, and there's a reason why, right? Like if you're attracting that into your reality and you want to play victim and you want to go run away from it, then you're not going to heal, and like you're not a victim, and the world is actually like very compassionate about helping you heal. And so when you choose that, you're choosing to receive that. You just need to keep choosing it and not listen to fear or ego be like, oh my god, run away now, like otherwise people are going to try to control you. No, you've probably been being controlled all along by something that you're not working through, right? And so you have to choose to receive the love and the guidance that is there coming through the divine, and what it is that you're being shown for you personally, not even necessarily what anyone else says you're being shown, or what anything like in your outer reality is telling you. It's about the feeling within you that it's pointing to. And the same thing on your twin flame journey. It's not about what your twin flame is saying or doing that you necessarily mirror. You do the mirror exercise with pinpointing what's bothering you. That's the place where you give yourself love and where you ultimately heal. It's just that you need that direct, reflection and the switch of the pronouns to take you there. And anyway, the response I received was very very bad. Like I was like, oh, this like really couldn't have gone any worse on the outside. But actually, like, what did I really expect? Do I really expect people who did the things that they did, made the choices they made, and never fessed up, never tried to make it right, and ultimately did the opposite, do I really, what was I expecting there? Well, a miracle always comes in one way or another, right? And so it is safe to expect miracles, but you can't control, someone's not necessarily going to be like, yeah, you're right, I did this, and I'm sorry, or yeah, here's I'm going to pay you back from what I took from you. Things like that don't always happen, and of course that's why we have laws and stuff like that. But stuff like this is taking you deeper into your twin flame journey, because it's showing you where you get to love yourself and where you get to truly be in a place of peace no matter what, and that's not something that can be taken. And Jeff and Shalia put out a video earlier today, really right after I received this message, on gaslighting, and I was like, wow, well, there you go, and I've been having some dreams related to the topic too, that were very telling, and it just also brought up this idea of boundaries, and that one of the reasons you might be being misread if you have experienced abuse is that you're actually holding on to that. You're holding on to that person's energy, even though, you obviously don't want to, and it's not your fault or anything, but it's just something to look at, because that's what was happening to me. And it's ugh, you don't want to believe that people sometimes do the things that they do, because if you're watching this, maybe you're more a more getting emotional, okay, a more spiritual person, and if that's you and something's happened, at any point in your life, then maybe it's helpful, just to hear this, or something that you've gone through as well. And so I really had to go to that place and just recognize what the truth was all along. I'd been played. These people, they do not love me. It's okay. In truth, of course, everyone loves each other, and everyone is God's child, but it's not for me to figure out how that happens for anyone else, how someone becomes their highest self. But it is for me to take every step that I'm shown to do that for me. And same for you. So if there's something in your reality that's just is unresolved, and even if you can't quite get to it yet, even if you need to put it on the back burner, it's gonna be there until you're able to face it. And even if it means going to the uncomfortable place, undoing something that you were doing in your life to heal it, or whatever it takes, it's always worth it to heal. I'm not saying you need to I don't know, obviously don't do anything that is not good for you. That's not what I mean. So hope that's clear. But just sometimes you have to take time out to if you really want to go there and heal. And it might be that you've kind of been doing something else for a long time in a certain way, with a certain pattern to it, that is it looks all good on the outside, and you could probably keep doing it for a very long time, and it would slowly take from you, maybe your career, for instance, or maybe being with someone you're not meant to be with. But yeah, like at some point there, you're just gonna feel that friction there. And when you feel that, what are you gonna choose? Are you, like, which way are you gonna move? Are you gonna move towards numbing out? Or are you gonna move towards resolving it? And it doesn't mean you need to like quit what you're doing right away. And I mean, it's really just like what you're like guided to do. Like, everyone's journey is very personal. And so it's gonna look different on the outside, like the way that you take the steps and all that. But you do want to take the step, that next step in front of you towards healing. And yeah, like, I can tell you from my experience that, like, it's just it's worth it to face your fear and to go all in with yourself, like, no matter what anyone is saying on the outside, because no one can do it for you. That's not actually God's job, because you have the power. God gave you the power to resolve what it is that's in front of you to resolve. And resolution might not look the way that you planned, right? But keep going until there is resolve there. And if something else comes up, then you'll know. But like, you will never know unless you really take that leap of faith and you stand up for yourself, and no one can really judge you for standing up for yourself. Yeah, so if someone wants to tell you you're crazy for standing up for yourself or this or that, look at that, and it really is fuel for your fire too. Like, when I received the message today that I did, I just realized all along I'd been giving credit to someone for supporting me in a way that they never actually had. I was like, no, the reason that I did so well in school and that I, was successful in this and that was because I was actually working against this energy, this, constantly being put down. Not because I was being lifted up in any way. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean, like, I lived somewhere, I had a home, I had certain things. But the energy of it was really one of me cycling away from that vortex of being stuck in that place. And there was just so much contrast that I had a lot of motivation to always keep going and doing that. And, like, you don't necessarily need contrast to do well in your life. And I mean, in truth, you don't, right? Like, but that's the purpose, and it's okay. Like, yeah, you can just choose though for it to be easy, and to just choose your success and your power and claim that, and that feels really good to do. But yeah, like, I realized that on a whole new level, and I also realized that the other person who was kind of like, mainly involved in this, that I had actually weirdly been like pretending like they didn't know, or pretending like, yeah, like letting them be the victim still somewhere, because that was always their story. And when you let someone else be the victim, or you pretend like someone doesn't know, like, something that's pretty revealed, if someone's clearly like lying to you about what happened, then they probably know what actually happened, right? And so, yeah, it's hard, right? Like, it's a hard thing to be like, oh, like, they knew and they let that happen. But would you rather have that, or would you rather have the lie? Would you rather have that energy like cycling in you because you're not just being truthful and honest with yourself about like your own power, and that you didn't make that choice, that someone else made that choice. And so yeah, you can let it go, and that is how you truly become your own self, right? Like the self that you're created is by like claiming your power. Really though, like, yeah, you know, you take your power back. And there is something, I do feel charged. I do feel like you know, you're trying to tell me, oh, I'm not doing well and things like that, and further gaslight me, and I'm actually doing better than I've ever done in my life, because I'm not suffering from being traumatized anymore and pretending like stuff didn't happen that happened. And so yeah, that's gonna take me really far. Like, I'm confident that I'm on the right path, and like not gonna get knocked off of it. Sorry, doesn't really matter what comes along. And so, you know, we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to share with you where I'm at, and like be really, you know, honest and open, and also see how it relates, you know, to you and your own personal spiritual journey that you're on. And yeah, the other thing I was just gonna say is the mind alignment process is something that I really highly recommend if you've had trauma. That's like what I went through, and it was extremely helpful and easy to do, all things considered. And so yeah, I'll put that link below. And you can also check out all my links if you're interested in readings or working with me. And leave a comment if you have anything to say. I would love to hear it. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.